Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you guys are so very welcome. A couple of days ago, one of you sent me, well, you've been sending me all kinds of things, and we're going to try and touch up on a couple today. But you sent me the video of Shanquella's father, basically just in so much pain, so much anguish, and he was just expressing how much he felt, how hurt he was, and a lot that he's going to miss that Shanquella is not here.
They attacked her, ma'am. It wasn't no physical, they attacked her, ma'am. I mean, it seemed like from my daughter was asleep, ma'am, you know, for all of them to be in that room. And then, you know, they come in there like, I don't know, she woke up or whatever, the way it seemed like they attacked her, ma'am. And she naked, ma'am. You know, for a father to see that video, ma'am, because my daughter's not a fighter, ma'am. She's not a fighter, not at all. For them to do what they did, ma'am, it just seemed like it was a plot, because they couldn't have did that over here, ma'am. They couldn't have did that over here, you know, where her friends, all her friends are. You know, it wouldn't have went down like that, ma'am. They don't realize, you know, what they done done, ma'am. They just robbed, they just put a hole in my heart, man. That was my only child. I'm just heartbroken, man. You know, I can't even be a granddaddy. Can't even walk down the aisle, man. Can't even hear a voice. Can't even hear say daddy. Mom, you know, can't even hear say daddy. Can't even hear say grandma. You know, y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know what this done to me. Just don't know, ma'am. You just don't know. Just don't know. Just don't know. You know, I thought she'll be burying me, not me burying her.
What do you hope happens in this situation when it comes to getting justice for your girl?
They get charged for it, ma'am. And they go back over there and do the time, because that's where they did the crime at. And they left her there, ma'am. They left her in that house, ma'am. They left her there for the maids to find her. Don't you know how much of pain my daughter suffered for the injuries, you know, that she took? You know, she was smaller frame, man. You know, for them to sit there and try to get her no help or nothing. I just want justice, man. I'm just angry, hurt, sad, all in one, man. All in one. And I've been dealing with this from day one when I got the phone call saying that she had passed, man. You know.
When you say you want them to, of course you want them to be arrested and to serve, but life sentence, is that what you think that they should face?
Yes. They took a life, ma'am. They took a life.
I read a lot of your comments in relation to the Shanquella case here on my channel. To all the mothers and the fathers out there that have lost their children. I was reading all of your stories, and I am so very sorry for your loss. My deepest condolences. I didn't expect it, I think. I don't know. I was just reading story after story of all of these young children that were lost in some way, shape or form. Accidents. There were a lot of accidents. There were a lot of shootings. It broke my heart. I have to applaud you that despite your loss, you still came into the comment section to express condolences to Shanquella's parents. That's phenomenal. In a way, I guess I understand, because you more than anyone would understand how it feels to lose a child. And I am very, very, very sorry. I love you, Fumi Nation. You are a class unto itself. And I read the comments and I see how you support each other. I applaud you. You're a class act. And that brings me to my next subject. Again, a lot of you were saying that people were talking about Shanquella's mother wasn't crying during the interviews. And I felt, and I found that to be very, very odd. And I responded to some of you and I said, what do you mean that because she's not crying, she's not grieving? And so I wanted to say humbly, and please you guys tell me down below, I think Shanquella's mom cries every single day in fighting for justice for her child. I believe that she will completely break down after all this is over. And it is nowhere near over because we need to have the Cabo 6 arrested and brought to justice. That hasn't happened yet. So I don't think that she is, I don't know, I'm just assuming that right now she's fighting for justice for her child. She's fighting for justice for her child. And who's to say that she's not weeping at night? You can't begin to imagine what kind of life they're living right now. I'll tell you something about grief and about loss. Let me start with Ula, my husband. Ula is very calm. Very calm. Do you know in the 14 years, Ula has never raised his voice to me. Or anyone for that matter. That's just his personality. He doesn't lose his cool. He's a very calm guy. Throughout our 14 years, there have been instances where I've looked at him like, there's no reaction, you're not going to have any reaction. And I've gotten to understand that Ula just expresses it in a different way. I had a girlfriend in California. When her father died, she completely broke down. She didn't speak to anybody for an entire year. I would go to her house and I would leave messages for her under the door. Sometimes I would even stand at the door and I'll be like, oh, this is happening, that's happening, you know, how are you doing? I did it for a year. For whatever reason, I knew that she was grieving, so badly. And she just needed to take this time for herself. And after a year, she came to. Look up this film. It's called A Cry in the Dark. What was the actress's name? Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep was the lead character in that film. Phenomenal. It's aligned with what people are saying about Shanquella's mom not crying. She and her husband, that's in the film, they went camping. They had just had a newborn baby and they went camping. She left the baby in the tent and went to go and get, I think, hot chocolate or something. And a dingo dog went in there and took the baby. But because she was so calm, nobody believed her. She went to jail. She went to jail. She had another child. It was a true story. It was a true story, and Meryl Streep was just acting out what had happened. I think it was in Australia. Years after, maybe 10, there was a traveler who was walking by at that camp, and he found, because it was a huge case, they found the baby's sweater, I think. And that's how they found out that in actual fact, it was a dog, this dingo dog, wild dog, that took this woman's baby. People grieve differently. This is a big, big case. The horror of it has shocked all of us worldwide. And we'll just have to sit still for a minute because this is going to go on for a while. Having said that, I have come on here and I've talked so much about me being a mother. I had so many fathers to say, Fumi, I lost my son. Fumi, I lost my daughter. And when I listened to Shanquella's father, it broke my heart. Because I remember when I was trying to have a baby, and my father said, Fumi, I can't wait to be a granddaddy. I'm waiting for my grandchild. And he mentioned that. My father walked me down the aisle. He also mentioned that. So guys, let us keep Shanquella's parents in our prayers every single day. Let them stay strong and let them see the end of this case. Because, you know, we don't know how people are really faring. We don't know. We don't know. And my greatest wish is that this case is, you know, settled, because it can wear on you. Shanquella's dad told us Shanquella was his only child. It was the only child he had. He had no other daughters. He had no other sons. I think Shanquella's mom has a daughter. I think Shanquella has a sister. Now I'm under the impression she might be the half-sister. So that was what I wanted to say, my loves. I will always keep on top of this story. Always keep on top of this story. Whether it takes 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. This case, this particular case has me up at night. And it really, it has, there's a shift. There's a shift for all parents that have lost their children and haven't gotten justice. A lot of you are writing to me. I will see what I can do. I will see what I can do. So Shanquella's father had to say, and he's absolutely right, a life for life. They took the life of his only child. He wants them to spend the rest of their lives in jail. And I agree. I just found out, I think it's important to mention this, that Dajonet Jackson just had a baby girl. A baby girl. She had had a baby just before she went for this trip to Mexico. I would have thought as a mother, that something inside of you would tell you that what you're doing is wrong. She is not trans. She is a woman. And she has given birth. And the child and the baby girl is not even 6 months. And yet, Dajonet, you did this. It doesn't matter if you're not friends. But that you are friends? Oh, wow. I'll be back.